now be recorded.
He's right.
We're good. Gary.
I'd like to open up the Public Works and Protection Committee on Tuesday, December 1st, 2020. Roll call, please.
Carrie Paul,
Here.
Allison Williams,
Here.
Jay Krieger,
Here.
John Euclid,
Here.
and Donovan Miller.
Here.
Donovan, okay. Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Action on the agenda. Can I have an approval on that, please?
Move to approve.
Second. Motion carried. Any objections? So moved. Minutes, action from the minutes of November 5th, 2020.
Motion to approve.
Got us first, second?
Second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Comments from the public must be limited, not on the agenda, must state name and address. 5-minute as your limit. Board will listen and not discuss on the items. Personnel issues cannot be discussed. Board is not able to take action on this meeting. Anybody from the public want to speak? Anybody on the public want to speak?
They're both on the agenda.
Or they're both on the agenda? Okay. Evidently, we don't have a public here. Moving on to action items. Action on, Action A, action on appeal to deny operator's license. Brandon Eland. Mr.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman
Well,
and committee members. Before you is a communication from Brandon Eland, who's appealing his denied operator's license application. Mr. Eland is in attendance this evening. If you have any questions for him regarding his denial.
Chief, could you give us your reason for denial? Let's start right there.
I sure can. His first application that he submitted, he neglected to put in the possession of THC charge that was in there. And also that is an automatic denial if you remember our guidelines. He also, I looked up the police report. He was stopped by one of our officers. The officer could smell marijuana emitting from the vehicle. He denied using marijuana or had possessing marijuana. However, he was eventually cited for that. So not only did he knowingly and admittingly omit the charge on the first application, he also lied to officers about it at the time. So for me, that's an automatic denial.
Okay. Any comments or Eland, would you like to come up and speak on your behalf?
I can just talk.
Pardon?
Just
Yes, move the mic up to you so we can all hear you.
I just explain myself.
Give us your name and address.
Brandon Eland, 1099 Thorndale Street. And back then, that was at the start of the year. When I was filling out the application, I didn't see that I had to put that, and I thought that it was before I was 18, so I didn't have to put that down, which was my mistake. And I turned it back in, and I put that down. And back then, I was a different person, but I have changed, and I'm trying to better myself up and work now, and work a good job.
Okay. Anything else?
No.
Okay. Chief, does this fall into the 5 or the 10? I know you got a...
Yeah, the guidelines for this, if you recall, that we agreed to was that the failure to list the required information is an automatic denial. And so when he admitted that, and his admission to admitting that is an automatic denial on the guidelines. I'll also remind the board that, some of the purpose for my scrutiny on this is to determine whether or not we feel that this is the type of individual we want with our liquor licenses. Someone who is not forthright on their application and admit this, and also lying to officers, tells me that maybe they're not ready to handle this position quite yet.
Okay. Okay, anybody else got some questions?
Did this ever go to trial?
No.
Never went to trial?
His ticket?
Well, in the TH,
I don't know that was in February. I don't know that it's gotten to that point yet with all of COVID, so I think it's still out there.
okay.
Can you explain your thought process why you lied to the officers?
I'm not sure why I did it at that time, more or less because I didn't want to get myself in trouble. But now that I've gotten older, I realize I should have just been honest with the officer and told him that I had it, because I probably shouldn't have had it in the first place.
One thing I've learned many, many years ago, do not lie to an officer,
Yeah,
because they're going to find out.
yeah, I now realize that.
Anybody else? Okay, if not, somebody want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to uphold the
Second.
denial.
I got a first, I got a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Sorry. I'd like to give you a second chance, but your convictions are way too close to this part of the year. So
So he still goes to village board.
it still goes to village board, correct? So you can appeal at the village board on the 14th, I believe?
15.
15th of this month, if you care to. So,
Okay,
thank you much.
thank you.
Item B, action on Class B liquor slash, Class B, liquor, Class B liquor license for Boomerang Management Incorporated, doing business as Epic Event Center.
Before you, Mr. Chairman and committee members, in the informational sheet, Boomerang Management, Inc. is doing business as Epic Event Center. They're nearing completion of refurbishing the former Gordman's department store at 2351 Holmgren Way. And as such, as part of the entertainment venue, they seek approval of a Class B beer, Class B liquor license to offer to their patrons. Mr. Brian Stencil is a representative of Boomerang, and he is available if you have any questions of him.
Patrick, everything is in order to proceed with this then?
Absolutely.
Very good, sir. Brian, you care to have anything? Okay. If not, any questions from the committee? If not, somebody want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the license and permit to Epic.
Got a first.
Second.
Ellison is a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Very good. Item C, possible discussion and action on license and permit application language for background checks. Tony, you're up.
This item, as you may recall, was a point of discussion at our last committee meeting. And so as a follow-up to that, we circulated some draft language as far as how to clarify the language on the application for applicants so that it can be more clear and so they can understand what their requirements, obligations are when filling out the application. So as is set forth in the attached green sheet, it indicates what the current language is on the application as well as some proposed language that we had circulated. And just to follow up on that, in reviewing the employment discrimination statute before the meeting tonight, in the proposed language, I would just suggest a slight modification in the proposed language. In the middle of the paragraph, kind of the second or third sentence, I guess, depending upon how we read it, but where it indicates that all charges that were read in, reached a plea agreement, or were dismissed still must be listed on this application. I'd recommend that that language or that sentence simply say that all charges that were part of a plea agreement still must be listed on the application. And my recommendation in that regard, as far as deleting the charges that were read in or dismissed, is to basically eliminate confusion, because the statute indicates that we can only consider pending arrest records or what they've actually been convicted of. So if we're looking at dismissed or read in, they aren't necessarily convicted, and those matters have been concluded, and so they're no longer pending. And so that just creates more risk as far as a claim of employment discrimination. And so that's why I would recommend at least that those words be stricken out, and we consider what the plea agreement convictions were, and then make a determination as far as whether that's substantially related to the licensed activity that they're applying for.
Okay. Anybody got any questions on this?
So how would that read again, Tony?
Do you think it would be best just to take that sentence out? I know I made it, but would it be easier? Just say all charges must be, or all offenses must be listed?
I think it would be best to, I think it'd be good to indicate the plea agreement language,
Okay.
because that's ultimately what they would be convicted of.
Okay.
And so I think, thinking of it from the applicant's perspective, I think it would be more helpful to their understanding that they have to list that.
Okay.
So I think it would be good to at least still include that portion, and just simplify it by saying that all charges that were part of a plea agreement still must be listed on the application. So that's what that sentence would say.
Okay. Because I think some of the confusion that's been coming up is they go, well, hey, it got dismissed. Well, yeah, I get that it got dismissed, but, you know, the charge is still there, so.
Brian, what have you seen through the applications that people are missing?
Well, I think that, I don't know if they're necessarily reading the application all the way through, but I know that the clerk's office, and I know Beth has been very clear with them that they must list all their offenses. I don't know that they're actually going back and looking through CCAP, for example, and seeing what charges they actually have. They're just kind of relying, I guess, maybe on memory. But so I don't know. I think that this language in here and have the link to the circuit courts would be beneficial for them. Just another reminder that they need to go out there and look at this site. And then for you guys now know that we've given them all the information. We've given them a location to look at it other than word of mouth from Beth. And if they don't list it, then it should be easy for all of us to say, well, you failed to disclose. It's an automatic denial. We gave you all that information.
Okay. Can those bullet points be bolder so they don't miss it? I mean, for some reason, I think some of these people are missing some of this, like you were saying, and I don't know why they're missing it, or like you said, are they even reading it?
I don't.
Exactly. I think some of that's some of the problem. They're just filling out what they think they need to fill out, and they're not really paying attention to what we're asking for on the application.
Okay.
We can bold it, we can do that, but I don't know if that's going to make any difference, quite honestly.
I don't think so. I don't know, it's just a thought. I thought if those bullet points were a little bolder, maybe they would read it, but we'll leave it as is then. So you need a recommendation here, Tony, for approval on this?
Yes, I just ask that you approve the language as, the proposed language as set forth and then as amended tonight.
Okay. Everybody clear on it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tony sent it to me, and I kind of responded with what I wanted it to say, and it looks like this is exactly what I wanted. So I think this will be great because it says all offenses must be listed, and failure to do so, it's right in front of you what's going to happen if you fail to list.
Okay.
And then I have a lot harder saying, oh, I forgot it. Well, read. If you can't read, then I don't know if I want you selling liquor. So,
Okay.
With that, I'll make the motion
Motion,
to
okay.
approve the proposed license and permit application background check language with the amendment recommended by our attorney, that we take out the part where it says read in and dismissed. Is that good, Tony?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Second, we got a first and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Disapprove? Not motion carried. Items for next agenda. Anybody's got something they want, give it to staff. They will move forward with it. One thing we have not done on this, Jay Krager, we have not introduced you to the public. Jay Krager's been a Ashwaubenon resident, I believe, for all your life.
And since 1963.
That tells us the day you were born.
No, I was little. I was 9 years old when I moved in here, so.
All right. Jay, welcome. I know you were involved in the village more through sports, but welcome on getting involved in the political end. Items for next agenda, like I mentioned, give it to staff. Make a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
Motion carried. Thank you.
You?